Sheikh Abdullah would always give this example in his lessons in Medina. He would say that the doctor can't be sick. He said if the sick doctor tries to go cure somebody, not only is he not going to cure him, he's going to give him his disease. And that's what we're talking about, you know. It's not to say that you have to, now that there's another extreme here that we're not going to. We're not saying that you have to be a perfect person in order to give somebody advice or to correct somebody. There's no perfect person out there. If that were true, then nobody would ever be able to correct anybody for anything. That's not what we're saying. But there's the other extreme that's there too, where you've got somebody who their relationships are a mess. They do not have a good relationship with their spouse. They are not living for Allah. They haven't broken into that higher plane of purpose where they're trying to bring about Allah's will or Allah's wish onto the creation. And then they're sticking their nose in everything. And they're trying to say, well, you should be doing this way, you should be doing that way. Yeah, you need to fix yourself first. You need to take care of, how is your relationship with Allah. There's a funny story about this. It's one of these old Joha stories or Nasruddin Hoja stories, right? Where Nasruddin Hoja is the qadi, he's the judge. Okay, and some woman, she's a mother of a young child, and she brings him to the judge. And she complains and she says, my son is addicted to sugar. He just keeps on eating sugar all day long, sweets. Please pass a ruling forbidding him from eating sugar or sweets. And Nasruddin Hoja says, come back next week. And she's kind of confused. Why do I have to come back next week? But okay, he's the judge. So she goes, she comes back next week. She says the same thing. It's like, I'm here again with my son. Please. All he does all day long is eat sweets. Tell him he can't eat sweets. He says, come back next week. He keeps on telling every week, come back next week, come back next week. Finally, months go by. And she comes and she says, what's the deal? Like, please, give me this ruling, like, make it forbidden for my son to eat sweets. He's ruining his health, he's ruining his teeth, all these sorts of things. Won't eat his vegetables. And the judge finally says, Nasruddin Hoja says, all right, boy, you are forbidden from eating sweets. No more sugar at all. And then the woman's like, thank you so much, but what took you so long? You could have said that the first time I came in here. And Nasruddin Hoja said, well, I myself am addicted to sweets. And so I had to stop myself first before passing the ruling to this young person. So there's a lesson in that. There's a lesson in that. We can't be hypocritical, right? Even if you're right, you can be wrong, right? And, it's also hard on the nafs, anytime you try to correct somebody or try to, give them advice on something that's touchy, personal, it can be hard on the nafs. It's hard on the ego. And so you undermine the effectiveness of your advice if you're also not putting it into practice in your life.